What is going on, everybody? It's been a while, but today I have something special for you all. They're here because you want to start a business. You're either tired of working your 9 to 5, or you don't have a 9 to 5, but you want to live life however the fuck you want and do whatever the fuck you want, whenever the fuck you want to do it. To be honest, the gist of it is, you're here for a reason. And if you've been watching my previous videos, or you've been watching videos similar to them, congratulations. You're going to be in the top 1%. You're going to live in your dream house with your dream car, live your dream life with your dream wife. Bar. In all seriousness though, if you enjoy this kind of content and you watch it consistently, you have a significantly higher chance of being someone who is successful than someone who doesn't watch this kind of content and enjoys that and takes it all in. Now, with that being said, here's my multi-step idiot-proof guide on a starting business in 2023. Starting a business can be an exciting and rewarding venture, but it can also be extremely damn stressful. In order to successfully launch a business in 2023, it's important to take certain steps to build. You gotta have a strong foundation, you gotta have brand identity, most importantly, an effective marketing strategy. You could have the best damn product in the world, but nobody's gonna buy it if they don't know what it is. So number one, before you can even go anywhere with your business, you have to build a strong foundation. Building a business is kind of like building a house or building a fire, right? With a house, you cannot just put walls up and a floor down without having a set area, a zoned out area to hold the house into place, the foundation. With a fire, you have to have wood, you have to have an igniter, you have to have somebody to stoke the fire, right? So in this case, when we're comparing it to a business, say that you do have a strong foundation, you have a good marketing plan, you have a good brand identity, you know what you're doing, and then you're like, hey, I'm just going to let my employees run this for me. And now let's go back to the fire example, right? So you have the fire, you have the lighter, you have the igniter fluid. But if you're not sitting there stoking the fire is eventually going to go out. And that's the same way that it will work for your business. You can't just leave your employees to run the business for you. I've heard this way too often. I'm going to get rich. I'm going to go take a 6-month long trip in the Bahamas and let my employees do all the work for them. If you have a really, really great team, sometimes this works. And sometimes, I mean like 5% of the time this works, and you have to have a very, very rock solid team. You have to have good communication. Like I'm saying, it's who's stoking the fire. It's not nobody stoking the fire. It's that you're not stoking the fire. Somebody else is stoking the fire. Somebody else is getting leads for you. Somebody else is marketing for you. Somebody else is stepping in when you're not there. And a lot of times, and like I said, way too often I hear this happen is I'm going to step away when I make X amount of money. That just doesn't work. To build a strong foundation, you need to make sure that you have all the necessary legal paperwork and financial paperwork to even get started. This includes forming an LLC or another type of business entity, like a sole proprietorship or a corporation. If you wanted to start another company where you have products that you are physically selling or a service that you are physically selling, you need licenses and you need permits. For instance, I'm helping a buddy of mine scale up and build his lawn care company, and if he wanted to go out and do fertilizing, or if he wanted to go out and do spraying, then he would need a licensing to go and be able to go spray. If you're going to go out and build decks for somebody, if you're going to do a construction company and you're going to build houses, you need a permit from the city, if that makes sense. Now, all of that you have to register with the appropriate government agencies, right? So to get your LLC, you would go to the IRS.com or IRS.org, whatever it is. And if you wanted to go get your permits, you would go to the city, you would go to Google, look up City Hall, you would call them, talk to them about what kind of permits you need. You would go to them, they gave you the permit, or a lot of the times there's a fee, but these are all necessities that you need to handle before you can even start selling at all. Now, when it comes to what kind of registration process to use, the LLC is undoubtedly the best one. It's beneficial for a number of reasons. First, it helps protect your personal assets in the event that your business is sued. For my marketing agency, if I got sued by somebody, and it would protect me being a limited liability company, as well as having all the other legal documents that I have clients sign before I even start working for them, and having a lawyer on standby to give you those kind of documents for customers to sign or clients to sign is a great way, especially in your service-based business, to stay out of trouble. Another thing that is so beneficial with an LLC is it also provides you with some tax benefits and allows you to separate your personal finances from your business finances. And that is big, especially if you want to give yourself a personal salary. It saves you big time on taxes. If you wanted to go to sole proprietorship route, it's all on you. right? So if you were to make $300,000 that year, you don't get to give yourself a salary. You have to pay $305,000 in those taxes, and $120,000 of it goes to the government. Or to get $100,000, I don't remember what the number is in the tax bracket. I'll put it up here, but obviously would pay less in taxes, but you and your business would pay less in taxes because you are taking a large portion of that $300,000 out, as well as your business is now only making $200,000 in annual revenue because of your personal salary. So you save money on taxes, your business saves money on taxes, and everybody's happy. You have to look at tax deductions too, and I see this all over TikTok, all over YouTube Shorts, all over Facebook Reels. Section 179 of the Small Business Tax Code, it's talking about you can buy a vehicle over 6,800 pounds and then write off, I think it's 80% of it. So I actually saw a guy who was looking at a Lamborghini Aventador SVJ, and I guess it's a heavy ass car, weighs over 6,800 pounds, which, whatever, you get to write off. It used to be 100% and now it's 80%, so that's $120,000 tax write-off, which is really nuts. So yeah, just make sure you're looking into the tax codes and what you can use to save as much money on taxes as possible. I know there's guys like Trump out there. I mean, I don't know if you guys watched the primaries way back when, but he was talking about he uses the same exploits that Hillary's friends use in business to pay nothing in taxes.
$16 million loss to avoid paying personal federal income taxes.
Of course I do. Of course I do. And so do all of her donors, or most of her donors. I know many of her donors. Her donors took massive tax write-offs.
So have
a lot.
And they do that through all these tax codes, like Section 179 of the Small Business Tax Code. But now that we got taxes out of the way, to form an LLC, you will need to choose a name for your business. Now, this can be really tricky, or it can be really simple. If you really want a name tied to your business, you want something good, you want something that rolls off the tongue really easily, then maybe come up with something on your own. If you want something simple, you want something done fast, go to a business name generator. It's all computer generated. It takes all of 5 seconds. So it's not that hard. You put in a few keywords, what your business is about, and it gives you a list of names to choose from. And none of them are trademarked, and you won't get in trouble by using them. But yeah, so you'll need to choose a name for your business. You'll have to file articles of organization with your state's Secretary of State. If you want employees in the future, you're going to want an EIN. That just kind of helps track the money when it goes from place to place. Now, it's really all dependent on your industry, but you might need to obtain additional licenses or permits, and that's why it is very, very important to research the business model before you go into something. The reason why everybody says dropshipping is dead is not because dropshipping is dead. Dropshipping is very, very, very much still alive. It's just a highly competitive field. The thing with marketing agencies now is it's just a giant cesspool of idiots that don't know what they're doing. I run a marketing agency myself, and now that I see there's thousands of newly registered marketing agencies because of gurus like Eamon Gadji or other people on YouTube who are preaching, hey, start a marketing agency. The reason why you're not making any money on a marketing agency simply is because you fucking suck. So, with that being said, research the damn business model before you actually do anything. See this way too often. People are going out trying to sell a product they don't know anything about. So when I'm going back to dropshipping, they're sitting here, they're going on Alibaba, and then they go to market that, they're just copy and pasting. They're not doing any of the market research themselves. They're not doing any of the advertising themselves. They're not separating the keywords from the demographics, from the kind of people that they're targeting. So once you have your legal and financial paperwork in order, it's really time to start establishing a brand identity. Brand identity includes things like business name, logos, colors, etc. You've already touched on the business name. Let's talk about the logo creation. Canva is probably one of the most necessary tools for business in 2023, just because you can do literally everything that you can on Canva, that you can on Photoshop, and more. Canva has its own elements, it has its own graphics, you have templates to start off with, so if you say you wanted to come up with a logo, you can literally look and scroll through Canva to look at templates. You pick one that you like, you add your own brand identity to it, you add your own some colors, whatever the such, and you run with it. It takes all of 5 minutes anymore to make a logo for your business, and ChatGPT 4 is insane. You can literally come up with a logo in less than 5 seconds. You type in a few keywords and prompt it out, and then you have a logo from ChatGPT 4. Now, ChatGPT 4 is paid, but Canva is free unless you want to use some of the graphics that make you use Pro, which is $12 a month. And even then, I've been paying for Canva for, I don't know, a year now. So Canva is so useful. These kind of go hand in hand, is the logo and the brand colors. The brand colors are so essential because it makes your business your business. So all of the marketing that you're going to be doing to make it flow better, you're going to want to do it in the same colors. You're going to want to have the same backgrounds in your product images or in your showings or whatever the such, in your graphics for your posts on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. You want the same colors. You get what I'm saying. Brand colors are so essential because it's associated with you and your brand. It brings out the emotion in the customer that shows them that this is your brand, this is your color, this is your logo, this is your business name, and they all tie. I can't do that with my fingers, but they all tie into one. Okay, so your brand identity is the colors, the logo, and the name. So now that you have your brand identity in place, we have to talk about an effective marketing strategy. If we talk about what I was saying before earlier, when I was talking about you could have the best product in the world, right? You could have this end dust, right? And I use this to clean off my desk before I started the video, but this being on a shelf, you would never see this. The way that this works with a product in being in a store, and this is why it is very important to be perspicacious. Noticing your surroundings and watching, hey, when I buy this, why did I buy this? Well, because it's a dust and clean fast, really nothing else to it. You don't really read the back, you just look at the front, you see it's a duster, it's cheap, I want it, I'm buying it to dust my shit off. After we establish brand identity, we have to look at social media anymore for marketing. Nobody's buying cable anymore. If you are running commercials for an audience, it is towards an elder population. And I'm sorry, Mom, I know you're this age, but we're talking middle-aged to senior citizens. So 40 and up, it's just stats, I'm sorry, okay? But people 30 and under aren't buying cable anymore. They're streaming. And so you have to look at social media and what they're doing on their phones to advertise. So I'm talking about Facebook, I'm talking about Snapchat, I'm talking about YouTube, and the great thing for us business owners, not so much for the people who like to watch Netflix all the time, is Netflix is introducing a free service plan where you can watch Netflix for free with ads. So when that pops up, it's going to be a great opportunity for you guys to get out there, sell your products, just keep watching the business news. Thing is you can all do this paid, and that's probably the best way to do it, is doing all paid social media advertising or hiring somebody like my business to do it for you. Or you can do it organically, and sometimes organically is the best way to promote a product, especially if you're running a service-based business. I don't know if you guys see, there's a bunch of those satisfying videos on TikTok, quote-unquote satisfying. There's guys who either walk up to houses or construction sites and they, knock on the door, and then they want to go, hey, I'll mow your lawn for you for free, and then they mow the next person's lawn for free, and then they kind of just record it, and that's how they get their business, and that's organic marketing. So when they see those people, whether it's SB mowing, then you get that kind of sense that, oh, I've seen his videos before, I've seen he does good work. So organic marketing is one of the best ways to market. You can do it for totally free, still sell products. Again, I would still recommend that you do some paid advertising as well. Do a little bit of a mix, do some organic advertising and paid advertising, because with the mix, then you kind of get not spending a whole lot of money on ads. At the same time, you're still getting sales. So, and that is very important, especially when you're just starting out, is saving money on ads, because once you're 10 years down the road and you're making, $5-10 million a year from your business, then really it doesn't matter. At the start, you want to save as much money as possible because you don't have a lot of money. This is my organic marketing. This is me telling you guys how to do your job, so then business owners come to me and like, hey, you know what you're doing, why don't you market for me? Now, when it comes to paid social media ads, it's a very powerful tool. I know you might be turned away because it is paid. I mean, a lot of times, a lot of services will let you choose what kind of amount that you want to put in to run ads. I know Facebook does, I know YouTube does. With social media advertising, you can target your ads to specific demographics, and that's what makes paid advertising so much more dominant over organic advertising, because organically advertising and organically posting or making some short videos to put on whatever platform, then you're kind of going on a very broad spectrum, right? So from here to here, we'll just say from here to here is where your targeting is when you're organically marketing and advertising. So this is all free, is right about here when it comes down to here. So right here, it's very defined. You get your videos right to where the people want to see them. It all comes with market research too. You really have to go in and kind of figure out what your audience is like, what kind of demographic they are, you know, whether they be a certain kind of race, whether they be a certain age group, whether they be, you know, whether they like certain things too, so behaviors and interests. If they're an active shopper on Facebook, or if they like a certain thing, like if they're into, you know, astrology or some shit, or candles, or plants, or cameras, or YouTubing, or dusting, for Pete's sake. And I think that's what makes paid advertising so much more dominant over organic marketing. Those are the most traditional ways of attracting customers. The non-traditional marketing strategies like influencer marketing and content marketing can also be very effective in attracting customers. Influencer marketing partners with social media influencers, either like myself. I don't have a big enough platform yet to really give somebody that kind of kick that they need right off the bat. Or if you were talking about somebody like, I don't know, fucking the Kardashians or something, you know, marketing for somebody, and they have before and they still do, except for they do it with their own products now. So you see, that's pretty genius. Giant platform off of Kim's porno, and now it's kind of get the gist, partnering with people like that that have a larger platform that can promote your product to an audience that is relatively targeted. I mean that in a sense of, say you know, have a makeup brand or are drop shipping makeup, then I don't know, maybe send an influencer a few free products and they'll have them market the product for you or try it out for you. And that influencer is more than likely going to have the kind of audience already that you haven't built yet, targeted, you know, more towards teens or just women in general. Another thing when it comes to a more non-traditional form of marketing, it's content marketing. So get a YouTube channel, start making TikToks, you know what I'm saying? Do that kind of organic, non-traditional style marketing where you're not specifically giving the info of a product, you're kind of giving hints in the background. I saw this one guy, he had a YouTube channel that he grew. It was completely unrelated to any product. He really wasn't selling anything. He was selling something, but he was doing it in the background. So we'll use this dust can again for example. He had these dusters all over in the background, right? So every frame that you would look, there'd be a duster in the background, and somebody would eventually ask, oh, what duster do you use for your table? Your table's really clean, right? You can see my table's got a real nice shine to it right now. I use N-Dust. That's his own product. So you see what I'm saying? Kind of build a platform on top of yourself, and then you market along the way. Now that was probably the portion of the video was marketing, and that's because it is the most important step alongside with getting your business registered. You can't really run a business without it being registered and not paying taxes. You can't run a business at all without marketing, because you can't sell anything without marketing, and you kind of can run a business without brand identity. I mean, you can kind of just run a mystery business. I mean, I've seen it work for rappers and for some drop shipping companies, you know, in the past. If you really got started around the time when drop shipping was insanely popular, then you might have gotten a little bit lucky without brand identity. But now it's a little bit more important to have a sort of established brand identity than it was maybe 6 years ago. But you really don't need it as much as you need marketing. So I apologize for marketing taking up the portion of the video. If you're still around, I appreciate you. I love you. Let's get into the last thing real quick, and that's managing shipping and product allocation. Once you have customers, you have orders, you need to figure out the shipping. These steps, if you do them beforehand, that's what's going to set you up, right? So the shipping and product management is a lot more than just shipping and allocations. Having a product stored somewhere, whether you were making the product yourself and storing it in a warehouse of your own, storing it in a basement, or drop shipping using a 3PL, we'll get into that a little bit later. You have to focus on the shipping time. You have to focus on if a customer wants a refund. You have to focus on if something's broken and they want to send it back and want a new one, or if they want to send it back, like I said before, and want a refund. You have to be able to fulfill the customer, and you have to be able to service the customer's every needs. When somebody says the customer's always right, I'm sure those of you who have worked a 9-to-5 before have heard the customer is always right. Unfortunately, if they want some outlandish sort of thing, like I had a client who didn't really have her shipping set up totally. I mean, it was a pretty good model. She was just using Etsy. I mean, she still is, but whatever. She accidentally sent a customer only one of her products instead of two. I guess they ordered two. and they got pissed. They wanted a bunch of more products. They wanted like $100 worth of free product. That way they could market it and then sell it on their own. And the customer actually said that in the message. I saw the message. The customer wanted $100 worth of product so that they could sell it and profit off of it themselves. It's not how that works. So if they want some sort of outlandish deal like that, don't give it to them. I mean, you can give them a 15%, 20% off their next purchase or next order. That would be more acceptable than sending somebody $100 in free product. So don't do the outlandish things. Just keep it down to a minimal, but figure out your shipping and your refund policy and state that before. So one way to get a shipping and refund policy insanely fast is use ChatGPT. You can use ChatGPT 1, where it's just a language-based model for free still, and it's almost June 2023. So use ChatGPT and use AI to your advantage, because nowadays AI is going to help you out massively. Use AI to pretty much make your brand. You can use AI to make your policies. You can use AI to I wouldn't say you could use AI to register your business, but you can use AI to help you along the way. And most importantly, you can use AI almost seamlessly to market. There's a site called creative.io. They use AI to make your ad creatives for you, and I don't know what the price is per month for that. I'll put it up here. You can use AI in pretty much every single one of these things and basically have a business set up in a single day, as long as you have roughly $500 to invest. I know a lot of guys are like, oh, you need $2,000, $3,000 to start dropshipping or start some sort of business model. If you have the basic equipment, the basic needs, most of the time, and I'm talking 75 to 80% of the time, $500 is what you need, right? So if you are working a 9 to 5 already, save up $500, take it out of the bank, take $100 out of the bank every time you get paid, put it somewhere. If you're not working a 9 to 5, go mow some yards, do some babysitting, save that money until you have $500, and then start doing the process and use AI to your advantage as much as possible. Use AI. So when it comes to drop shipping or just shipping in general, you can use 3PLs like FedEx, to where you ship it to them and then they go and ship it out. Amazon does this tremendously well, where they are their own 3PL, so they have their own warehouses. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Amazon FBA, but it's basically drop shipping using Amazon, to where you buy the product, you store it in an Amazon warehouse, and then somebody buys the product off of Amazon. And that's basically Amazon's whole business model, is having people doing that, and that's what's called a fulfillment center. So that's actually a very good business model in itself, is having your own fulfillment center, renting out a warehouse. There are garages down here at the end of my apartment that are $50 a month. You could have people ship things to you, store it in there, and then charge them a base fee for storing their stuff in your garage, your storage locker, your storage container, warehouse that you're renting, and then capitalize off of that, obviously. So finding a fulfillment center, finding a 3PL, finding the fastest way to ship a product to your customer, because that's really what everybody's worried about, is buying something online and then getting it to them as fast as possible. So with that being said, this has been a very, very long video. I still somehow feel like we missed some things. So if you feel like I missed something, drop it down in the comments below. I will make a separate video, go over it in the future. I hope you guys enjoyed this. With that being said, thank you guys all for sticking around. Thank you guys for joining me in the process. If you did stick around till the end of the video, comment 1% down in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.